All right. Well, thank you so much for joining our weekly technical council meeting. Today is the 29th of June, so we're towards the end of the month. We had so today's session is going to be primarily focused on standards. This is our biweekly cadence, and also this week's um, the workshops are also going to be focused on standards as well. So first of all, I'd like to go over just the scheduling and making sure that we're all aligned. I also, Joe mentioned to me that last week we wanted to talk about making some adjustments to the time for the for our Friday workshops and pull it up a couple hours, maybe make it a little earlier, so it's not too taxing on the on Friday night for team members who are in Europe. For them, it's fairly late, so we can make that adjustment. But just kind of a quick update of where we're at in terms of our standards, progress and workshops. The last workshops that we had that specifically were related to standards were on the 17th, and we had three great workshops at that time. Data translation standard, invocation standard, ER resolution standard. We already know that the data translation standard needs to continue to work, and that's been scheduled for this Friday on the 1st of the July. And the invocation standard is also, my understanding is that Caesar and Jordan, you guys continue. Well, Jordan's not here, but Caesar, you working with Jordan will continue working on the invocation standard this Friday as well, and then hopefully we'll get them ready for final review after those two workshops. And the same thing for data translation standard, although we'll see how far we get along, how far ahead we'll get this Friday as well. Um, so for today, what we have scheduled for is the URI resolution standard. I think that's ready for a final review. So today's session is going to be primarily focused on that. And then what we would like to do after that, if we get a final review acceptance, we'll either schedule another follow-up or have it ready for the final acceptance, so to speak. And then after that, we can talk about what are some of the new upcoming workshops that we would like to start scheduling as well, if we're ready for that, or if we want to continue focus on the ones that's currently in rotation. How does that sound? Does that sound about right from everyone's perspective?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so before we get started with the URI resolution, maybe let's take a look at our Friday's calendar really quick. If you guys can take a look at it. One, we obviously have some Windows opportunity here. Um, let's see, how about since we wanted to move that up, can we move it up by an hour? Or do you want to move it up earlier than that?
I think that someone had a conflict with an hour before. I don't remember if it was Judah or Niraj. But what I wanted to suggest is if it would be possible to change the day of that. Or Niraj also proposed, if I recall correctly, that maybe we can like do just one workshop on Friday and the other one another day, if I recall correctly. So yeah. Personally, I would like to propose that we move at least one workshop to another day. But if it is both, I'm also down. But yeah, if that's possible, and I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I think it would be better to move the workshop.
To move to a different day is the preference?
Yeah,
All of them or just one?
well,
Just the one
yeah.
on Friday, right?
If we move both, then
Oh, there are two on Friday. Okay, got it.
Well, we usually have like a 2-hour block and we try to fill it, right? So on Fridays, and that's at noon Central, for 2 hours. Um, if we try to move that, let's say to Thursday, well, this week is already so let me ask you a question. Is it okay to keep it this Friday because this Thursday is already, um, um, uh, you know, there's already quite a bit of taken up by Dow Sync, and then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine uh, with, with this Friday being
Yeah,
taken. It's just that it's a bit more comfortable to us if, on the long run, it wasn't that time.
We could, in the long run, do like an hour earlier on Friday for a single workshop and move the other one maybe Wednesday, hour before the technical council.
I'd be fine with that. Yes.
oh,
Okay.
yeah, and I okay. I what if we have two workshop at two different time zone? Like I think we on Friday we can have workshop uh, very earlier with European time zone, so that yeah we can keep that slot for the workshop that yeah we who are on like same time zone can only be like part of, and yeah we can keep another for another at any other day, like where we can better satisfy people on American
Let
time
me
zone.
ask you a question. For folks that are in the United States, would 8 a.m. Central be too early, or is that something that we can do on Fridays as well? Because that would be, I think, for European time zone would be pretty good. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 hours before where it's currently scheduled. But it might be a little too early for folks that are in the United States, especially the ones who like to work late. 8 a.m. might be a little too early, especially for the folks in, I don't know if anybody is in the Pacific time zone, but that would be really early. It would be like 6 o'clock in the morning for those
Yeah,
folks.
I think most of us are on like near European or
Where Jordan is? Isn't Jordan in? I don't know where he's at now, but I thought he was in like
He
Denver.
at some point he was PST.
Yeah, so that might not be great. Well, let me propose a few options in the technical console um, channel. If we can keep this Friday, the way it is for now, or if that's okay, because we already have it scheduled, and then for starting next week, we'll realign.
I think if it makes it easier on you guys, we could move it like 2 hours earlier for this Friday. I can get out of the meeting probably.
That would be awesome. If that's possible, that would be a yeah.
There's only the conflict of the QA sync, I guess, but we can move that too.
So this
Yes, yes.
Friday, 2 hours earlier. Okay.
okay. So yeah, sorry, my connection was yeah
Okay.
lagging, and yeah. So what's the conclusion?
So I think for this Friday, we're gonna move it to from noon to 10 a.m. Central, the two workshops that we've scheduled. Um, and then the for the following weeks, we're gonna discuss transitioning to Wednesdays, um, and we'll go from there. Make sure that we got everyone. But for this Friday, we're saying, let me just ask a question. Would it be okay to do instead of 10 a.m. do 9 a.m.? Let me organize that too. I'm not exactly. I'm just looking at my calendar offline, but tentatively let's do 10 a.m. and then maybe I'll have some updates in in the channel. We'll go from there. Okay.
Yeah. Which time zone at 10 a.m.?
Central. I'm
CT.
operating out of Central CST. So it's 2 hours prior to where what it's currently scheduled, and I'll move that around. All right, we're ready to start on the URI resolution. Let me go ahead and
Sure.
open that up. First of all, let me go ahead and send you the link um, in the notes. URI resolution. So here's the HackMD note for the working session. As you can see here, there's quite a bit of comments on the side from Jordan that I'd like to review and resolve. And of course, there is a section on the bottom for initial feedback. I'm gonna change the last section here for, actually this is supposed to say final feedback because we didn't actually do the initial feedback. So final feedback today is 6/29. And we can outline any follow-up actions, and if not, maybe ready for acceptance is the key question coming out of the final feedback sections. And otherwise, but feel free to start adding any additional comments or any areas within the final feedback. So why don't we start from the beginning? Who wants to kind of maybe walk through some of the comments and kind of lead this flow from the ownership standpoint? I think Yuri, this is yours, right?
Yeah, I could go very slowly. My tongue is still recovering.
Sure.
Should I share my screen or?
Yeah. Let
Okay,
me.
I can go
I
through
think it's
yours.
best if you yeah, if you do it. So let me just stop sharing the screen. So this way you can navigate.
Okay, so I think we went over a lot of this last time. I don't think I'm gonna read through it. We can read through it after we're done with this kind of review. But just like the main points, we have the title and a short description, what it is. I applied Jordan's comment just like a minute earlier. Prior knowledge, user needs to know about the wrap URI standard. So resolution process, what it is, how it functions. Okay, fix this issue. So this is the main method for resolving URIs in the client.
Sorry, Yuri, the comment, I think it was the second comment you said it was resolved, so I can click on resolve.
Oh, is there a resolve button?
Yeah, if you can, yeah, if it's resolved, let's just close those.
How do you close a comment?
Oh, maybe you have to have ownership. Oh, it's interesting. I'm not sure. Let me just make sure that I get you the right. You might need to have. Let me give you an owner permission to this note. Do you mind sending me your user?
Etner Zell.
Let's try. Sorry, do you mind showing again? I didn't type it fast enough.
Oh. think you know it already, but here you go.
It's not finding it. Nope. All right, I'll just
Paste
update
it.
those. That's fine for
Maybe you
now.
have like a typo. I pasted it.
No, I had that right. It's just for some reason it's not it.
No. Okay. Could you resolve the comments?
I think it's asking for the email to invite. That's fine. But I can resolve the comment. I'll resolve the its comment.
Okay. So the first one, you can also do the first one.
Yep.
I think it's still here. Oh, it says resolved. Oh, okay. Lag. So this is the method signature. Takes a URI and options. So this is a bit different, I think, than what we have in a couple of different methods. So should we move the URI inside of the options, like I think we have for the client? I don't have a monorepo here. What do you guys think?
I think it would make sense. You mean adding URI to options?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
I think I
I mean,
purposely left it out because I didn't like that way of handling functions, but if it's gonna make things consistent, then yeah, I think we should move it.
I mean, probably I don't know, it reminds me to, for example, Axios, where you pass the endpoint and the configuration, right? Yeah, I feel like this is the same pattern, but I would say that URI would be good in options, to be honest.
Hmm. Yeah, let's make it consistent. I agree. So I can do that immediately. And they're no longer optional then. And I don't like what.
Or probably options, but only include URI. Like that's like the URI is the only
Yeah, it is.
yeah, you get my point.
Okay. Here is all URI. These are the options. URI, no cache read, no cache write, full history. So no cache read means we do not use cache when resolving a URI, so we do not read cached URIs. No cache write means we do not save the resolution to cache. After we resolve a URI, we don't cache what we find. This okay. So Eugene, this was an old comment.
So you should be able to hit resolve now.
Oh, awesome.
I figured out how to add you.
And Jordan is saying, I'm confused by then do not use the cache for resolution case. So is this confusing to anyone else?
Can you open the question? I mean the comment.
That's the no cache read.
Yeah, to me, I think it's not confusing, but yeah, it can be worded better.
Yeah. what do you think it should be worded like? Then do not read from cache, maybe? That's already
Yeah.
in the name.
Mm,
Kind of
not
redundant.
sure. Mhm.
Maybe
Um, I,
like
I would say something like no cache and save cache or something like that, or edit cache, if that makes sense.
so we
But
have a cache resolver that we use. So this one could be at least the comment could be if true, do not use the cache resolver because that's what it does. You can also change the name maybe.
yeah, to me it's not confusing here.
Is this a bit better?
Mm, yeah, to me it's equal. To be honest, like I think
Hmm.
the previous way was cleaner. Like yeah,
Maybe Jordan read it as do not use case, like he like he wrote.
Maybe. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's not that bad. Like,
Okay.
yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Specific lines. Okay, I think this was. Oh, this is resolved. What the hell? Duplicate. Oh, okay. These comments are a bit buggy. They're all the same comment. Like what the hell?
See if you want to maybe refresh the page, see if that cleans up.
Too weird. So yours disappeared, but mine doesn't. That's weird. Resolve URI. Okay, so the result here returns a wrapper, which is optional. It returns a URI, which it always returns, the last redirected URI found. A history, which is an array of resolution steps. And an error, which is also optional. Error has a type and the actual error. It can be either an infinite loop or an internal resolver. A little bit about the stacks and all of objects. I think this is the old. Yeah, this is the old description.
Sorry, in the comments, you have to click on resolve and then hide if that option available, and then it should hide it.
Oh, okay. So the URI history is an ordered list of objects which describe the resolution process per resolver. Of steps and the resolution step has the name of the resolver, source URI, and the result, the URI, and the wrapper if it's true or false, if it indeed resolves to a wrapper. Hmm. Ah, hide. Okay. And like you can see from this, so single URI resolver can return a wrapper, but doesn't have to. But it always returns a URI. So if it doesn't redirect, then it returns the source URI. You can also see that from here. URI resolution. Wait a second. Okay. Resolution process, each Polywrap client, or should we say each wrap client?
Yeah, I think it should be rep client.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the result of the resolution process on the URI resolver. Should we maybe rename this? Because can maybe get a bit confusing. So resolve URI returns a resolve URI result. That's kind of fine. But resolve URI, when called on a resolver, returns URI resolution result. Maybe a resolver resolution result or something. What do you guys think?
Yeah, or just resolution result.
It could be confused with the resolve URI result, right? Because this is on the client and it returns this, but there's also the same method on the resolver. And I think we have the, yeah, see, URI resolver has resolve URI and returns URI resolution result. Maybe like something like that.
That's two verbose.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
say resolve URI result, right? Like let's just make it yeah, like with the same name and
It's a bit different because this one is just a couple of properties, right? When we already have a resolve URI result. We could
okay.
make, yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But my first thought here is that if the previous function it's named that way, then we probably should keep consistency between, the naming of the functions and what they return, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. Probably I'm wrong, but yeah, probably it would make sense to rename that. Um, like
Rename what?
the resolve URI result, that one. I don't know. I'm just like thinking out loud here, and probably what I'm
Huh.
saying makes no sense, but yeah, that.
Actually, can you bear with me for a second? So I just noticed we are returning a wrapper here. First off, and this is me thinking out loud. So we have this set of properties, wrapper, URI, history, error. And then for resolvers, we kind of have similar but different. So there is error, but different type. There is wrapper, and there is URI.
And
There's no URI history. We could maybe standardize this to have it be the same. So have like a sub history,
yep, yep,
Yeah, yeah, totally.
yes.
Yeah. So then we can name them URI resolution result or resolve URI result, whatever you want to. I'm fine with both.
Or would it make sense something like resolution extends? Yeah, resolution extends from resolver URI result or something like that. So yeah, you get the point. But yeah,
I didn't catch that.
yeah, probably doing like, I guess now if I understood you, you're saying that probably we can like make one interface based on these two, right?
Yeah,
And basically making the history an extension of yeah, like the core, let's say, or like the main interface, which would be resolve URI result. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
kinda. So the problem with history is it uses resolvers. Uh,
Why don't just make history optional?
hmm, I mean, what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean just yeah, optional. Like it can be undefined, so it will be defined in the result URI result. But yeah, in the client result client dot result URI, but it will be undefined in the core.
Yeah, but that doesn't help with the actual interface. So, like, what would the so this is the resolve. Let's call this client just for the purposes of this discussion. So this down here needs an interface, right? And we wanted to make it the same interface. So if we have a maybe like a unique interface for that, let's call it resolve URI resolve. So if this is undefined, maybe this is required, whatever. So we
No,
technically this is not the same. This cannot inherit from this. Like it's not the same.
No, no. What I mean is like using the same interface for both of them and same function name for both of them. Then just keep the history undefined where we don't need it, and keep the history defined where we need it. So it will be equal, right?
Sure, but I'm saying this is the true interface that it uses, and it's kind of weird to have it defined as this, where it has a property that it never uses. You know?
yeah, what I would suggest is probably like with the second one we have resolver resolve URI, right? What I think is that I don't know, name it resolve URI, right? And in the third one above, like just keep the history attribute and just make that interface extends the resolve URI, and the name of the third one, which is currently resolve URI result, can be something like interface, I don't know, resolution URI extends resolve URI. And yeah, probably that would be like more explicit. Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know if that makes
Oh
sense.
wait, what about this and this one would be it'd be that one, but just to make it clear, implement or extends whatever. Fucking TypeScript. Um, and this one have it be this. We could actually have this one be resolve URI result or extend. So you're talking about this.
Yes. Hmm.
I like this.
Something like that. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I would say that
Yeah.
probably the URI resolution, I mean yeah, if I again understand things correctly,
Hmm.
the URI resolution it's the one with the history, but the resolve it's the one that will just return a wrapper URI or error. So exacto, exacto, yeah, just like that. See, I see.
So then
And
this would be this.
extends, you will need to say resolve URI
Yeah,
result.
yeah.
Good.
Hmm.
See. Yeah, I don't know.
Yep. All right. I like this. What do you think, Niraj, Nestor?
Yeah.
Here like We are just extending this. Yeah, resolver underscore resolve URI won't be there, right? It's just for
Oh,
extending.
yeah, it's a little bit this, right? We just use that one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Then it looks good.
This one will stay like this. What about, so this is really weird, and there is a PR that we need to work on for handling errors inside of URI resolvers. But before that, I wanted to kind of define the errors a bit better. So this keeps being weird in my head. So how would we define an error, but do it in a way that's similar or exactly the same, equal between TypeScript and wrapper schema. So for example, here we have the error, which is a type and an actual, JavaScript error. So this is not something that, first off, this doesn't exist as part of the URI resolver. This is only in the client resolve URI, like infinite loop or internal resolver. So it's not applicable. And the error is something that exists only in JavaScript, but ideally we would be able to use it not only for client resolve URI and not only for resolver resolve URI, but also for the resolver extensions, wrappers. But wrappers do not, return a stack and things like that. And ideally we would have the same interface, right? Although, yeah, another thing could be said about the wrapper here that's returned. Oh, it's really hard to talk. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out what would be a good way to define the error type.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's just like a message, like a string. Not sure. Do you get the problem?
See. See that basically, for example, in the resolve URI, we're going to have a resolve URI type of error, but in the
Yeah.
resolution URI, we will have a URI resolution type of error.
Hmm.
Right. So yeah. This is it.
We could. I mean, we could do it. Okay, never mind. And do we even need to have it? It's kind of useful to know the type and have it typed as an email. Another thing, and I don't want to mention too many things at once, but I think so. I don't think Nestor and Niraj were there, but Caesar was there today with Jordan and me when we were talking about the wrapper class, right? And do you remember, Caesar, what I mentioned about package reader?
See.
Yeah. So
See
so
that you implemented it in your validation, and that can be used in the wrapper at build time, something like that, right?
yeah, package reader can
See.
read a wrap package, and what we could do is have like a wrap package that implements or uses under the hood a package reader. Doesn't need to implement it, but it could use it like drive it read only back reader, maybe whatever. And this wrap package could have something like get manifest. This is the wrap manifest, get whatever built-in files we have, if we have built-in files. And also, technically, our current, I think it's called WASM wrapper. I think everyone knows this class. So the WASM wrapper kind of does the same thing, but a lot more verbose. Like it has get file. So we could have WASM wrapper have a wrap package underneath. something like this. So this is like an instance of a wrapper. This is the package, but in TypeScript, so it's typed. This actually returns a class wrap manifest, whatever. And this is like the bare bones reader that can interpret that can just read a wrap package. So does this so far make sense?
Sí, sí, sí.
Yeah, it does.
So what I'm thinking here, and by the way, this kind of looks like if you look at URI is
Sí, a resolver. Sí, you're right.
yeah, like looks like a resolver or like the job of a resolver. So maybe a resolver could be a package reader or something similar.
A
So
resolver is somehow a package reader, right? Like
yeah,
it's
just get file, but not enough methods, right? We didn't need the rest of the methods here, like get stats, but technically you do if you want to do validation or any kind of other manipulation. Like reading a directory is important if you want all the files in a package. So this is the resolver. Like you can resolve your URI, but you also get file. And if you guys are familiar, a WASM wrapper has a resolver that it's applied to. So this resolver here, where does it say? Oh, it's a local field, private field. This resolver is the resolver that was used to resolve the wrapper that created this instance. So you can ask this resolver for the files. So if you look at history, steps, your resolution step, this wrapper that's returned at the end is uh, here we have the resolver. So that resolver that was used, that's the one in the wasm wrapper, right? So what I'm thinking is, you see how we have resolve URI, resolve have a wrapper, which is I think wasm wrapper technically, or no, sorry, it's just wrapper. It's this one, right? It returns an instance. So I don't think resolve URI should return an instance of a wrapper. I think it should return something like an instance of a wrap package, maybe.
got it. Hmm. Yes, because okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, huh.
And then the client can, if it's called through the invoke, you know, it's, or just new wrap or whatever, create an instance.
Yeah, that's how the load would work, and then we
Yeah.
would. Okay.
So instead of having the resolve URI instantiated, you can actually just do this, just return a wrap package, and this one returns the wrapper, and invokes it, whatever. But instead of having the wasm wrapper have a URI resolver, it could have just a wrap package or a package reader. I'm not sure yet on the details, but
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
yeah, that's actually this. Think it makes sense, Mirage, Nestor?
Yeah, I also think it makes sense.
Yeah, and now the best question: should we do this for alpha, and should we do this for the standard?
Uh, yeah. No, I would say that we should okay, so that's a good question. What I would suggest is to think about it like and not as it is right now, but what we're aiming for. For example, um, to changing like this manifest stuff and creating the wrap manifest, like that's a thing that should be merged today. So that's, yeah, that's already a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, for example, that of the package reader, and probably making it a core of the URI resolver. I don't know. That should be post alpha. So yeah, basically what I would suggest is like right now we are um creating the ground, the core for this, and I think that for example we can make it this to the resolve URI return like the wrap manifest. And yeah, I think that wouldn't be a huge change, like yeah, making that. But if you think I'm wrong, please let me know, and then we can, yeah, for now let this as wrapper, make it yeah, make it work as it is, and then iterate on this. But yeah, that's, yeah, it's just a matter of us deciding that. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think you're right. We should try to make the minimal changes to make this make sense for alpha, and then post alpha we can introduce the whole structure of I guess and everything. So let's just try to see what are the minimal changes. Like we can make this change, for example. We already made the full history change. We need to implement it still. Mm,
Yeah,
errors.
so
What about errors?
aha. For right now, I think, I mean, I was thinking, but this is like super TypeScript dependent. Like, I guess we can pass a generic into the interface and just pass it to error, and just basically in the implementation of resolution and resolve URI, then we just pass the type of error, if that makes sense.
Mm,
Yeah, as of now, like for now, but I don't think that we should like show that in the, yeah, in the standard, basically, because we want like any other uh programming language. Yeah, I don't know if we should do that, basically, regarding the implementation, or even decide on that now. But yeah, what do you think?
I'm thinking.
I think it would be super straightforward, to be honest, with yeah, with creating I think it's that's generic types. But yeah, I really don't want to like keep adding changes to alpha, even though I think that this will also make like make sense with Jordan thoughts of today. So yeah, I really think that we should not push this. Those are my 2 cents.
It's kind of hard to think about the errors because there's a so in case you guys don't know, there's a pull request by Arcbjorn. There is yeah. Here he was going off of some of my notes a while back, and there's a ton of breaking changes in the meantime. Uh, and this is not perfect. Like I wanted to change this a lot, like not have this hard coded and things like that. So yeah, this feature still needs to be figured out, and I'm not sure that I or we can do it in the scope of this code. I do like the generic implementation, like you mentioned, like having something like
I mean, I don't. It's the easier one, but it's not the best.
yeah, yeah, but it does kind of solve our, you know,
Yeah, our immediate necessity,
yeah.
let's say.
But I'm not sure if there's a better immediate one.
Hey guys, I just wanted to do
So
a quick time check. We are coming
yeah,
up at the top of the hour. Wanted to just kind of see, since like there is a really healthy discussion going on, if you'd like to continue it, we can stay on the line. But I just wanted to see, do you think we want to schedule another follow-up workshop for this? Sounds like um, there's quite a bit of a good discussion going on here, or do you think we want to just follow it up again during the next session with technical consult and finalize the acceptance?
I think it'd be awesome if we could get a workshop for this Friday,
Okay.
and by then I can see about the implementation.
Yes, and that will allow us, that will give us time, sorry, to basically ha- merge like the core things, the basic things of the update of the package and stuff, and that will give us more insight regarding this, because we want to use a wrap manifest and stuff. So yeah, I would say that's awesome if we do a meeting on Friday, a workshop.
Okay, let's do that. And just to be clear, we want obviously Yuri and Raj. Anybody else who'd like to participate in this?
I would.
Yeah, me too. And yeah, Jordan for sure he will have thoughts on this. He just modified the entire core today.
Okay, so
So
Nestor,
yeah,
Jordan, Niraj, and Yuri, right?
and Caesar.
Mm, Caesar.
I'm sorry.
I
I
know.
Caesar.
I
Oh,
know he
sorry. Was it
said
Niraj or Caesar? My apologies. I thought.
both. Both.
Got it. Okay, got it. Okay.
I,
I got you guys.
I know he
My
said
apologies.
no problem. I know he said that we kind of want 2 to 3 people working on standards, but I do really like us all working on a single standard. You know.
Well, let's see how it works. You know, some of them we probably want to have everybody, and some of them we can have some sort of breakout sessions. We can. It's up
Yeah.
to us to
Yeah.
decide. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate everyone's time. We're at the time,
Thanks.
so I'll schedule another meeting this Friday for us to continue. We'll go from there.
2 hours before, right? Earlier is the word. Sorry.
Yep. Hmm.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
All right,
Eugene.
cool. Thank
Thanks,
you,
guys.
Jin.
Thank you, guys.